Hey everyone, welcome to round 3 of Get to Know Your Youth Leader. You guys ready for this?
No.
And we've got Susan back in the back there. She's going to be asking us questions about herself.
What is my favorite sport to do?
Volleyball.
Softball. Tennis.
Wait, did you say baseball?
Football. Basketball. Soccer.
Racquetball.
Lacrosse. Field hockey. Swimming.
Oh, man.
Oh,
That was a good one.
Darby's gonna have snack.
Yep.
It's up my nose.
Don't eat that part. What subject did I teach here at MCA?
Math. English.
Science.
Studies.
Science.
Science, yes, we got it. You want to go first? Ladies first.
You go first.
You sure?
I want to do it.
Okay.
Oh.
Camera.
Go, Darby,
I want to take a...
go.
Oh.
What is my favorite milkshake from Chick-fil-A?
A vanilla milkshake. No.
Peppermint.
It's the peach.
Peppermint.
No!
Oh.
Okay.
Don't do it on my hair.
But not your hair. But you need a paper towel.
No, I got my pound.
How many states have I lived in?
3.
3, 4,
7.
7.
Darby got one!
No! Gotta be my chance. You first. That was great.
Thanks.
Oh.
Oh!
Oh.
Yo, you can't redo.
Oh.
What sport did I help coach at church?
Volleyball.
Cross.
Basketball.
Soccer.
Basketball.
No!
Yeah, that's what they do like
What I
in
do
school.
for my
Like,
free Just do my hair too. They're not sticky at all.
I got that.
What is my favorite candy?
Oh, I know.
Candy
Sweet
corn.
tarts.
Starburst.
Nerds.
It's got chocolate.
Twist. Hershey Kiss.
They're Musketeers.
They're at your house.
Kit Kat.
Milky Ways.
M&M's.
Oh.
Peanut M&Ms.
Reese's peanut butter.
No!
Yeah, Reese's Pieces.
Nah.
We both got it. Same time. We'll get her.
I'm
Okay,
gonna get
1.
Oh yeah, snack on it while you can.
What
Take my
color is my dog?
White and brown. Brown. White with brown
White.
spots.
Yeah.
Hair. Do the hair.
Oh, 3, 2, 1.
Oh. Darby.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching round 3 of Get to Know a Leader. This was fun. Now we're going to go rinse all this off of us because it's nasty. Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, you know what? It's really hard to love someone as Jesus would if we let our negative judgments and opinions get in the way. Have you ever judged someone based on the way that they look, or maybe the way that they act, or something that they enjoy doing? Maybe they were just different than you were. Maybe you've seen, I don't know if cliques are a thing nowadays, or maybe they're just called friend groups. But either way, maybe you've seen the movies from the 80s and 90s where you had tables of people that would sit, like you got the jocks and you've got the geeks and you got the audiovisual people and, so the goths, you've got all these different tables of people that would sit together. It was very cliquey, very segmented. And it was often there would be 1 or 2 groups that would look down on the rest of the groups. And the other groups just kind of sat together or said, hey, you know what? Yeah, these people think they're better than us. What are we going to do? But there was always some judgment that was going on. People let opinions of other people without even knowing them get in the way. You know what? The tension here is making judgments about people without actually getting a chance to know them. We still do this today. It's one of those things where we've just expanded. It's no longer just the geeks and the goths and the dorks and all those people. We've expanded it to opinions about politics, opinions about this topic and that topic, you name it. And we've gotten pretty mean about what we judge people on, how we make opinions about them without actually knowing who they are, knowing the whole story and why they think the way that they are. You know what? these opinions can often be untrue. We've made an assumption about somebody. And oftentimes, we make assumptions about people all the time. People at school, people at your sports clubs, people even at church, that we think, oh, this is how they think, so this is how they must be, or they've said this, or they've said that. But oftentimes, these opinions and judgments come from a past experience we've had with them. Maybe they just had a bad day and we happen to run into them. And so we've got this one experience where they were just like, "Rah!" And we're like, that's how we base our opinion on them. Or maybe we have an assumption that we think is completely true because of a rumor we've heard about them. Somebody told us a story and we're like, yes, this is how this person is. And we've judged them and made an opinion about them on it. Or maybe we have a jealousy or insecurity ourselves that we have to deal with. And this is what we base our opinion on because we want to make ourselves feel better. Because, don't we all want to feel better about ourselves? The problem is we tend to let our judgments and opinions affect how we view people, even if we don't know them, even if we've never sat down and had a conversation with them. And the problem here is if we judge somebody negatively, it puts a mental block in our head to actually take and get to know them. Where if we took the time, it'd be different. But once we have this block in our head of how these people are, based on our opinion, not fact, it makes it really difficult to love them as Jesus would. Because remember, we've talked about we need to love God and love others. But we've already made up our minds about them without actually hearing their whole story.
Now you know the rest of the story.
You know what? That's it. The rest of the story. Because we're called to be like Jesus, let's take a look at a time where he didn't let other people's opinions and judgments influence the way he thought about somebody. He knew the whole story and was able to act upon that. It's found in John 8, verses 4 through 11. Teacher, they said to Jesus, this woman was caught in the act of adultery. The law of Moses says to stone her. What do you say? They were trying to trap him into saying something they could use against him. But Jesus stooped down and wrote in the dust with his finger. They kept demanding an answer. See, these religious leaders were trying to make a judgment of this woman. No chance of getting to know her situation. They just wanted action. They wanted Jesus to, boom, nail her for this. Be like, you're done. So let's stone her. They weren't interested in grace and forgiveness. And you know what? If they actually knew who Jesus was and they knew his whole story, they would have been like, yeah, this isn't how this guy's going to react. Because Jesus is all about taking and loving people, not condemning people. So we, like the religious leaders, can find it very easy to judge people without taking time to know what's happening and without getting to know like someone's whole story. But Jesus did something. He challenged them. This is something I love about Jesus. He doesn't hold back. He's a bit cheeky when he comes to confronting people, and it's brilliant. It's so many times in the Bible we see him just kind of taking and be like, boom, and you just kind of have to go, whoo, smooth. So let's see what he does in this situation. So he stood up again and said, all right, but let the one who has never sinned throw the first stone. I love this. He's like, okay, you know what? You guys want a stoner? This is great. This is awesome. You know what? Which one of you hasn't sinned? You guys can go first. Anybody? Anybody? Bueller? Your parents will get that. You probably won't. But he's sitting there. He's challenging them to look into their own lives and go, wait a second. Yeah, we're not that great. So let's carry on here in verse 9. When the accusers heard this, they slipped away one by one, beginning with the oldest, until only Jesus was left in the middle of the crowd with the woman. I love this. It's so descriptive. They slipped away one by one. It's kind of like, yeah, you, no. You? No, not me. No, can't do that. You know what? All of them knew they weren't perfect. Jesus took and shut down their entire judgment an argument of this woman. Boom, like that. Now, the only person standing there was Jesus. This is the only person who could have thrown a stone at her because he's the only one who hasn't sinned. So let's see what he does. It's exciting stuff. I don't know about you guys, but I think this is a cool story. Then Jesus stood up again and said to the woman, "Where are your accusers? Didn't even one of them condemn you?" "No, Lord," she said. And Jesus said, "Neither do I. Go and sin no more." You know what? There was more to everyone in this story. There was more to Jesus than what the religious leaders knew, because obviously they were like, yeah, he's going to be like totally stone this girl. They obviously didn't know him because he's totally not about that. He's about love and forgiveness. There was more to the woman because, who knows what was going on in her life, but Jesus was like, you know what? I'm still going to love you. He says, I don't condemn you or judge you. Go and sin no more. The religious leaders who thought they were like, we got Jesus on this. Jesus knew their hearts. He knew what was going on behind them. It's one of those things where Jesus calls us to remember that there's more to others than just our judgments and opinions. We got to know the whole story. And we can't let our judgments and opinions block getting to know people, because we all need forgiveness, but we all also need to feel the love of God. And if we have this block in our head of somebody because of an opinion we have without knowing the whole story, we can't love them as Jesus would. So what does that mean for us right now as you're going through your life this week? Because I want you to remember, judging someone based on your opinions and your assumptions without knowing the whole story, can cause a stumbling block for you to not actually know that person and love them. So try to remember these couple things whenever you want to make an opinion or assumption about somebody. First off,
worry about yourself. Worry about yourself.
That's right. Worry about yourself. Make sure your heart is in the right place. And second, remember, everyone is made in God's image and deserves to know and feel God's love. But if you have that block in there, it's going to keep you from having that relationship with them and being able to share that love with them. Because it's hard to love someone as Jesus would if we let our judgments and opinions get in the way.